Hi, Internet viewers. Frank Rauscher again. If you did everything that I asked you to do from the last video, we have the head all done. We have the mantle all done. We have it coming down through here with the pointed feathers. And we came down about an inch down from the throat. And now I'm going to show you what we do with the breast area. So if you'll bear with me, I'll move the camera down. But before that, I just want to let you know that I do, if you have any questions that I get into with these videos that leave you a little hanging, or you have some questions that I didn't make it clear or something like that, or you need for another project you're doing, feel free to contact me, okay? You can get me through my email address, which is Rauscher, R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7 @gmail.com. I also just want to let you know that just like with the sandpiper, I do have kits for all the projects that I have on video. And these kits come with the feet, the eyes, the pattern, and a blank. And it's a basswood blank, which is an ideal carving wood. So if anybody needs any of that, and any of the equipment I use, or the bits and so on, I do have them available, and you can get it through my catalog. Now, if you write to me and use my email address, I'll send one out to you, okay, through the email, and you can see what I have. And if you want to talk about it and get some advice one way or another, I'll do that as well. So I just want to let you know that's out there. Also going to ask you along the way, if you enjoy the videos, to please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if you have friends that may be interested in trying this as well, if you could pass my information on, that'd be great. It really helps on building my YouTube channel up, okay? So I appreciate that. And what I'm going to try to do is we're going to try to detail the breast today. I'm going to show you how I tackle that. So bear with me. There's several ways you could do this. I'm going to show you one way that I do it so that it looks good. But I will talk about this as we go along too, okay? And it just depends on how you want to approach it. And I think I've said this like in the last video. And the same thing I was saying to you about my email address. If you didn't get it right off, in the body of this video, the description that's in with each video has my email address. And if you can get it there in the description, it's there with every video I make. And if you get the catalog, I also have my telephone number there, and if you want to talk to me about any of the problems you may be having too, I'm open for that too. So I'm here to help you out to see if you can get you over the hump in case there is one, okay? So I'm going to move the camera down and see if we can't progress, and I'll show you how I tackle the breast area. Okay, we're back again. Now, like I said, most of the burning is the area I'm showing you now on this. In the breast area, like we came down roughly about an inch, could be a little bit more than that, not that much more. And then what I'm going to do is I started drawing these C's, and what I call C's. They're just this here, and they're like piggybacking. And as they go down, they get larger. So I started on some of these. You could see where when we were under the throat, we had them really small, and then they moved up and got bigger each time. And when you go to draw, I'm going to ask you not to do this to this to this. Do it individually, build them off, and do it that way, you know, so that there's no da-da, 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 da-da. It's not like running around the rosy, I call it. Make them individual, and they should increase as they come along. You start very small, and I get a little bit bigger. Get here, you can see how big I have them here. As we come down into the breast area here, just like at the crest of this roll here, I just come in and I have them pretty good size by now. From here to here is like about a ½ inch, I'm just roughly saying. And then I'm going to come around here. If you see this streak in here, don't worry about it. This just happens to be something that shows up every once in a while with basswood, but it won't be seen when we get done. Most basswood's pretty clean, but every once in a while you get a little streak in it or something like that, but don't worry about that. So we had these feathers here that I had raised before that are raised up, and these are lower, so they're now going to extend into these feathers that I'm drawing. So I'm going to put another C right in here, and these will butt right up to there. I'll put another C. Let me go back here first and build down some more. So I'm getting pretty large on these. Like I said, at least about a ½ inch long. And then I'm going to fill this one in. And this nicely comes around and butts right up into there. So that's what I'm trying to do. Then I'll come over to this side and increase. Then I'm going to put a C in there, just enough so that this connects to that, you know, and I try to make them suit where they don't look so out of place, you know, or a goofy shape. I think I'm going to run across one over here shortly. I'm going to put in a shorter one just right now, okay, which isn't bigger than the rest of them, but that's okay. Then what I'll do is I'll come in and make this just butt right up to that, just to suit the situation, okay? So everything isn't exacting. You can have a couple short ones in here, but I usually try to get them bigger as I come back. But every once in a while, whatever suits the situation, I try to make it. Now, here's where this C, which we had undercut before, is here. I'm just going to come in, connect at the bottom here, come around, pivot, and touch that. So it sort of works right in there. So that's my main goal, is to make everything look like it's workable and not forced in place. Here's another one. Here's the end of this one that I had undercut. I'm going to come off of this one, pick that up, and over there. So they all look pretty much balanced out. Don't go out of your way to, you know, get an odd-shaped C or something like that if you could possibly help it. But you also seen me put a small one in, you know, up in here. Forget where I did it now. This one right here looks a little smaller, or this one, than the rest of them. But as long as they're within reason, you're not going to get as tiny as these guys up in here. That's the idea. Now, when I get to the peak here of the roll, and they start coming down, I'm going to start reducing the size just a little bit. Okay, they're not as full as the C's up here. So I come in like this. And the next one I get a little bit smaller. Sometimes I don't get too small. And then I'll put another one right in here, and then in here, and I just keep on moving them down. Notice I do not do the loop, I try to break it up if I can. Now I put a big one in there. I just felt like doing that. Then I'll come off the wing here and swing this one around. Then I got a spot right in here. Come around like that. Now I'm going to start getting a little smaller than I've been making them. Just a little bit. Which means about 3/8 between here and here. You could see it. It's a gradual thing. And you try to keep it so it looks like it's large up here and then smaller as you move down. So I'm going to go and mark these in like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate on a certain number of feathers, okay? Just to get you started, just like I did before up here. I'll do so much, and then I'm going to let you finish it. And I'll come back on the next video and show you how it's finished, how it should look, I should say, finished. And it's just duplication work, okay? So it's not something where I'm keeping secrets from you. Try not to. I'm here to teach you. Now I'm getting a little bit smaller than I did before. Now I got this first little loop of a rump right here. I call it like a secondary rump. And I'll break this up a little bit like this. So these feathers look a little bit smaller. I'm going to also just put a feather in there, and this one will go back there. Now down here, I'm going to get smaller. I'm going to come back here. I'll throw one in between here. I've got a smaller one. I'll take one from this side and drop it in there. I'll put one in there. Another one there. Try to get it smaller and smaller. This will probably be the smallest I want to get them, okay? They're maybe 1/4 of an inch long, if that, you know. I'm just trying to give you, and what I mean 1/4 of an inch is like from here to here. Nothing scientific here. Okay, so I got it all marked out, okay? So I want you to consider how I did it and how it looks, okay? And see if you can duplicate it. And I don't think on the pattern sheet I show a lot. I show you some down in here, but I don't give you, and then I show you a little bit down in here. But you can see that it goes from small to large, and then about here it starts going back again. And then when you get down into here, it gets real small. So that's about the best I could show you on the pattern, okay? So what I want to do now is, like I really came prepared here. Should have pulled my bits out before I wanted to start, but I can find it. Yeah. I'm going to come in. Let me measure this. This is a diamond ball. I may even see. Bear with me 1 second. I'm going with a diamond ball that I'm going to do some detailing. And I'm trying to find my bits, which I hid real well. Here somewhere. talk about an array of bits, I have them. And that's because I taught classes a lot, and you use a lot of bits. And yeah, I think that's the one I want to use. I'm using a diamond because it cuts cleaner. And what I want to do, this is a little, that first one I had was a little tiny. Now, millimeter wise, this is about 2.5 millimeter. It's 2.5 to 3 millimeters in diameter, okay? So I'm going to get this guy. And what I'm going to ask you to do, if you will, is I'm going to show you this segment. It's going to be a short and sweet one, but I'm going to do some in front of you. I want to lift all these that are left over, the ones that are over on the shoulder here, which looks like it would have been part of the mantle, the breast area, and this area in here. I'm going to show you how I treat it. Now, I'm running my machine at full speed, and this one's, I think, a 35 or 45,000. Mostly all of mine are. I also am going to use my optimizer, which is my magnifier. If anybody needs any of those, I do have them available. And it's very helpful to see everything. Now, I'm coming in. I'm going to go right on the line with the ball. Now, I always keep one of my fingers attached to the piece as I'm doing this, because what I want to do is walk it. So I'm going to lay that down. If I go down, I'm going to say a millimeter, that's a lot. Okay, so I just walk it right on the pencil line. Now, I have some in front of it that was burnt, so the back end, I'm going to undercut it as well. Okay? But the ones that are not burnt, I'm going through. Now, I'm not going real deep. It may look it. What I want you to do if you practice this, and you have a lot to do here, you mess up, you can always sand it out. Not a whole lot, but you want to get the shape back to do all these, okay? I'm going to just come in here and do a group. These are ones I cut in before, but I'm just going to just touch them up a little bit. Now, let me get some of the dust out of here. And I hope you can see that. I don't know if you can get the depth. I'm saying about maybe 1/8 of an inch. I mean a millimeter down. So I'm not going to do them all, but this is what's going to happen all the way down. And what I want to do is show you how I approach it. Okay. Now, a couple of these up here up front, I'm not going to do anything with those. They're burnt. I'm not going to lift any of those. So I don't do every one of them. Now I'm going to come into what is almost like a mantle, but not quite. It's a shoulder. And again, I may make this look easy. This ball wants to go by itself. I'm really holding the line to track it. Okay? And I'm going right on the line, just following the line. And like I said, the ball may want to seem like it gets away from you, but I'm holding my finger on here. You can't do this because it bounces all over the place, and this ball will let you hop all over. By getting my finger on here, I use that as my rest and guide so I could just control this. Okay. Now, I want you to do this all the way down to here, even with the little ones. And if you do have a smaller diamond, like this one here, hang on a second. I do have a diamond that's smaller than this ball. I don't know if you can see it or not. This is about 1.5 millimeters. If you have it, come in and do these little ones, okay? Because you got a better chance of not obliterating them, okay? The ball is kind of, this one's kind of big. And for these little ones, you may have a better shot of doing it with this diamond ball that's smaller. But this is a ball that I'm using here originally is between 2 and 3 millimeters in diameter, okay? Now, what I do, again, just to know where I'm at, I come back in. This is me now. Now, let me give you some choices here. You see what I'm doing here. I'm lifting all of these. And I'm going to show you a sample of this bird primed. This is just before I go to paint. That's been detailed and everything else. I'm going to show you how that looks. Okay, so let me bring this into the picture. This here is a bird that the feathers have been lifted from here all the way down. Okay, and you could see they're like bumpy. Okay, and we exaggerate this a little bit. And you see it up in here all the way down. Okay, that's what I'm going to do on this bird. Now, for those who want to keep it a lot simpler and don't want to do this step, I'll tell you what you can do. Instead of using the diamond ball on here, you pencil all these in, and then I'm going to ask you to burn these in, or you can even texture it, and I'm going to show you that in a minute here on how I do it on this bird. So you don't have to lift all these if you don't want to, okay? This is you making the bird the way you want it. But this is how it looks before I start painting it. Let me also show you, bear with me 1 second, I'm going to get my finished one. I'm going to give you another look at another one I did. This is the bird already finished. And here's the lifted area and how it looks. And this is the raised area in here, okay? So you can do it this way, or you can do it much smoother, okay, without making the bumps. All right, so just giving you choices here and how you want to direct your bird, okay? Just want to show you different ways of doing it. So for the ones that are going to do it my way, I come in here like this, and I put the pencil line in here so that I could see the feather outline, just so I don't get lost. Okay, this is me. I've been doing this for so long, but it tends to work for me, and I like to do this. So, but I'm giving you choices now, okay? You don't have to do all this undercutting if you don't want to. But it's the look I'm trying to get with it. So you can hope from the examples that I showed you, you have an idea how it looks, and maybe you can do what you feel as though impresses you more. So, and this is the thing I was trying to tell you about. I'm showing you my techniques, but just remember, I'm not the beginning and the end of all these ways of handling the bird, but I would say if you can have a friend that's really good at bird carving, you like his style, listen to him too and how he does it. Not just this bird, but any bird, and incorporate his point of view on how to do these, and what you may like his methods better than what I'm doing, okay? And you can come up with your own style, and that's what I'm trying to show you here. There is different ways of doing it. Now, I went back in and penciled all of those feathers that I lifted, not the rest of them. I got to do that. I'm leaving that to you guys. If you're going to do it my way, you're going to come down here and lift every one of them, okay, right on down to the end here. All right, but here's what I want you to do now. I'm going to get a bullet-shaped diamond, and if you don't have a bullet-shaped diamond, you can use a flame-tip ruby, and that'll work too. And boy, I don't know why that's so tight. Let's see. Usually these bits slide in and out of here like nobody's business. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I see what it is. Every once in a while, the threads start coming loose up here, and you got to tighten it up, and then it allows the bit to slide in and out. So I'm sticking that out about that far. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, because the ball is in here, we have an edge on one side and an edge on the other side. And that's all around the feather, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slope this down this way, and I'm going to slope it towards the front of the. So here's what I do. I'm going to do this feather right here. I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to soften that real lightly. I'm not really pushing the bit in there at all. And it'll dip down. And I'm going to just roll this to what looks like halfway through the feathers here, just like that. I'm going to come around and get that edge on that side. And then I'm going to come around this way. And do this side. Because the pencil line's there, I can see it much more readily, and I want to get down to the pencil line. And I just want it to belly over, okay? It drops one side, drops on the front side. I'm going to do it on this one. Here we go again. I'm going to come in here, it's dipping down in the front, knock that edge on its side. Then this back seam here is going to sort of roll up towards the middle of the feather. Now I got a nice rollover. And I'm going to do that for several of these now. Almost all the ones right on down to the bottom. Okay. Now where I have a burnt one here, I'm just going to lightly just soften that in. And I got this one. And what you could do all the ones going that way first, the bottom of the seed, and then come around and do a bunch going the other way, okay? You don't always have to do the same feather going back and forth. You can keep them all going in one direction. And then I'll turn around and I'll come back and do it this way and do the tops of them. And I want to get rid of that edge. Because you're making a channel through there, I want you to get rid of that edge so it looks like it's dipping down in the front of the feather, and then it's dipping down on the back end of the feather. And I'm not really taking a lot out. I'm just softening that edge going down to the pencil line. Then it domes up and over, okay? And you're going to do that. I'm going to do a few more here, but this is going to be homework. I'm asking you to get rid of all the hard edges that we created with the double channel going through there, okay? And the reason why I put the pencil lines in is I could see how I can roll down to those pencil lines in one direction, then turn around and get rid of the channel edge on the upper side. And just take your time, don't rush it, and it takes patience, and you got plenty of feathers to practice on, and it really comes out really neat. And this ain't the end all. This is just the start. We're just basically shaping the breast feathers at the moment, but we're not detailing them yet, okay? I just want to get you started on this. The next video will show you how to detail these. These are just getting the shapes. You're shaping the breast feathers. That's basically what we're doing. And because we lifted this grouping here, it looks like these are laying over here. That's what we're trying to portray. These are much higher, this one row right here, and everything is down lower, and that's why we set this up. And it really makes like the breast feathers are laying on top, and that's what we're trying to portray here. At least we're trying to give that illusion. So you can see, I hope, that all that I'm trying to achieve is to get rid of that channel edge, both on the top of the feather and on the bottom of the feather. I'm going to turn it around, take it down to the pencil line, so it's rolling down, and then I roll it back towards the center, so it looks like it's domed over, okay? May have a little bit of a flat in there on some of them, but what I mean is it's still looking rolling, like it's rolling, okay? And I'm hardly putting any pressure to some of this because the bit can do the work for you. It's not like you got to go and rip out a lot of material. You're not. This is just a sort of like a light touch. You got to get the feel for it, like everything else, but it'll give you a neat look. So I'm going to do a couple more here, and then we're going to leave you to your devices. And you can turn these around, so you'll see that you'll have like a double edge. You can see which ones you missed and stuff like that. So you come in where you left off and come around, dip the front edge down, and do a bunch of them from the front to the middle, and then you can go and do the back end with the bottom of the feather. We'll turn this around. And what we'll do is start spinning these down here, taking them down to the pencil line, and then rolling them back in on itself. And it's a light touch. You have to get the feel for it, because we're not really trying to take a lot of material out. We're just trying to get that edge going. And the edge isn't that deep to start. You know, remember I said it's only about 1 millimeter down, which is very small. But it gives you that lift. So I hope you can see that, what I've tried to do. And I'm going to ask you if you will do the same thing and lift all these going down and use the smaller ball down here, and then come in with a bullet shape or a diamond that's, or a flame, you know, a ruby flame will do it too, and it'll give you the same deal. Diamonds are nice because I like the diamond one, because they give you a real nice finish. You know, you don't even have to sand these after you're done if you do it right. You know, because this diamond is a fine diamond, and they do really nice work. They really do, and they have a nice grit. And they give you a lot of nice surfacing. They clean up the surface really good. So I'm real happy with these. And if anybody needs them, I get most of my diamonds from a manufacturer that supplies dental bits and stuff like that. And they make these for me. And I'm very happy with them. It's a good quality diamond, and it should last you a while. It's not like some of the Chinese ones that just don't hold up as good. It's because of the bond. That's what separates the men from the boys, is what I said. Okay, well, I got a good amount done, and that's what I'm going to ask you to complete, is to take this, undercut it all, but you also have a choice. You can pencil these in, smaller up here, larger as you get to about here, and then you get, not smaller, but you make it less large, and then it gets real small in the last row, in the last rump area there. And you have a choice of not lifting these, and then I'll show you how to do that. Okay, you can either burn it in. We're gonna stone it, and I'm gonna show you how I do stoning here. And that is another way of detailing it, rather than do a lot of burning. We're gonna do something else in the breast area. So hope you got something out of this one. And if you would do this, and once you get it all done, then on the next video, I will show you how we handle these feathers in here and how we detail them. And we'll show you. It's a neat way of doing it, I think. We are exaggerating a little bit, like I said, and it comes out like they're like little rollovers, okay, all the way through, and you can see that in this one. But it gives you a nice look at the end, I believe. So, hope you enjoyed this one. And like I said, finish all these. And on the next video, we were going to have almost a whole breast done. We're getting close. And then we'll start putting in eyes, and we may be in painting before you know it, you know. So just want to get you going here. And I hope you enjoyed this as well. Again, if you need anything, my email address is Rauscher, R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7, @gmail.com. And if you want to get my catalog or the kits or anything else like that, I can email you my catalog out to you, and you can select whatever video, you know, whatever bird I did, or I did like otters. I did a mother and baby otter. If you're wanting to try that, I can send you out a kit that will get you going, and you can follow the videos that way too. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up, and if you would subscribe to my channel, that would greatly help me as well. And if you can also point me out to your friends that may be interested as well. And I will probably see you on the next video. And thanks again, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one.